Uh, so we already knew last week about these private email accounts that were used individually by Jared Kushner, Donald Trump's son-in-law, and Ivanka Trump, Donald Trump's daughter, both of whom have roles in the White House. Last week, we learned that son-in-law Jared Kushner had been using private email actually since December of 2016, specifically for White House-related work. We also learned last week, the day after, that Ivanka Trump, Donald Trump's daughter and sort of high-powered advisor, I think that's a pretty accurate assessment, she also has been using personal email accounts for government work. Now, there's been a huge effort to try to downplay it all, including with Jared Kushner. There's a statement we read last week, which I'll read for you again today, from Jared Kushner's attorney, where Abe Lowell said Mr. Kushner uses his White House email address to conduct White House business. Fewer than 100 emails from January through August were either sent to or returned by Mr. Kushner to colleagues in the White House from his personal email account. These usually forwarded news articles or political commentary, and most often occurred when someone initiating the exchange by sending an email to his personal rather than his White House address. Now, let's keep that up just for a second, because there's a couple words I want to point out, which are weasel words, right? These usually forwarded news articles, and you also have to look at the word most often occurred. Those make the statement effectively meaningless in communicating what Kushner's lawyer wants to communicate. So that's what we knew up until yesterday. Now we've learned of a third previously unreported personal email account for Jared and Ivanka Trump. They had their own private email domain, a family domain. Hundreds of emails were sent to it since January from White House email addresses, and the documents sent include non-public travel documents, I'll get back to that in a second, internal schedules, official White House materials, and again, these were largely from White House accounts, sometimes from other private accounts. And by the way, not only did Jared and Ivanka both have access to this account, so did the staff of their house. Why is that relevant? Non-public travel schedules, their household staff. Republicans used to regularly, happily remind everybody that when it came to Hillary's emails, there were non-public travel documents, which are considered classified, that were being sent around. Now we have Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump's staff reading non-public schedules on their private email account. But I guess it's only bad when Hillary does it, right? How does Jared Kushner still have a job, or at least a security clearance? Because this proves to us that it was never actually about Hillary Clinton's emails. It was a smear campaign, period. And parts of this are actually worse than what Hillary Clinton did. For example, Hillary Clinton didn't send classified information to her private email address specifically to share it with her staff, who might not have had security clearances. That's what's happening with this email belonging to Jared and Ivanka Trump. They shared access to that email address with the staff of their home, and documents that are not supposed to be public were readily accessible by the staff of their house. This is not a big deal because of the act itself. It's a big deal because Republicans were so successfully able to turn this into something that was very damaging to Hillary Clinton, and they all do it. Where is Congressman Jason Chaffetz calling for an investigation or leading an investigation? Wait a second. Chaffetz did this himself. One of many Republicans who did it. Vice President Mike Pence had an AOL account. Chris Kobach used one while he was on Donald Trump's voter suppression commission. It is a very, very long list. There should be a German word for this level of hypocrisy. We know the word Schadenfreude, which is pleasure derived by someone for another's misfortune. The word hypocrisy or double standard is not a strong enough word here. I'm not good at German. I don't speak German, but maybe there is a German word for this level of hypocrisy and double standards. The exact thing that are, according to them, disqualified Hillary Clinton from being president of the United States is something they all were doing and continue to do even to this day. Discuss this with us on our Reddit discussion forum. davidpakman.com/REDDIT. Today's episode is made possible in part by Blue Sky Binary. There are millions of Forex traders around the world, and 80% of them lose money. And I actually have been dabbling in Forex trading since I was like 16 years old. And I've lost some money doing it. And usually when people lose money in this, it is because they either lack the appropriate knowledge, they might be relying on others, auto traders, or other traders they follow instead of themselves. Sometimes people get emotional or take bigger risks than they should, or not understand or follow proper money management rules. And Blue Sky Binary's education course sort of helps to mitigate every single one of those risk factors. They're a leading financial education and tech company focused on Forex. They've got senior traders with real trading experience, offering a structured and self-paced course that you can take. Video on demand, online tests, one-on-one education sessions, and access to their community of traders are all part of that course. David Pakman Show viewers and listeners can register right now to get a free one-week trial at blueskybinary.com/David. That includes access to their training platform and a session with a senior trader to go over the basics. If you want to continue after that, it's $99.99 a month. You can stop or resume at any time. Once again, that's blueskybinary.com/DAVID.